Consistency gets you to where you need to be. Sometimes quitting is an option, but persistence kicks in and off we go. Got a great email here that I think we can all relate to. Roll it. Welcome back to another video where we've been exploring this whole idea of consistency and how being consistent in life will get you moving in that right direction. If this is your first time here, well, my name is Nikos Rentis and I like to post ideas that will get you moving in that right direction, and I like to respond to people's emails that I know we deal with each and every day. They might be a little bit different from our current situation, but they're similar in a way where we can see what's going on and see what kind of things we can apply to our personal circumstance. In this case, there's no difference. We struggle each day with this idea of consistency, persistence, and then of course deciding on whether it's good or bad to quit. In this email, the struggle is real with this person. They're working way too many hours, and the idea of what it was when they started to the idea of what it is now, where there's no results being seen, well, it's put negative chatter in their minds instead of looking for the answers to find success. They're in that negative space where they can't see that future they were looking for. Hi Nikos, I spend 5 hours a day working on my business. Okay, work. I feel like it is a total loss and ready to give up. My friend told me to email you, and although I wasn't going to, yesterday's video hit home. Persistence versus consistent is not the same thing, and I see what you are talking about. If I haven't hit my goals, how do I know it's consistency that needs to change, or maybe time to quit? And this is, you know, the question is, are you ready to quit? That's the bottom line. Are you ready to quit? And how many times have you been ready to quit? And what really got you going again? That's where that whole idea of that motivation comes into play. So the real question is, when is it time to quit? What value does it serve to quit, and what's its purpose? In every project, we need to plan out a quitting time. We need to structurally put that into play when we're approaching the flags, I guess, of a failing project. We need to address it, and we have to say, you know, what risk mitigation can we do in order to not reach that point, and when that point is reached, be able to, from a logical perspective, let go. Emotional, it's a little bit harder, but we need to be able to do that. In every project I work on, this has to occur, and I look at it and I say to myself, hey, I'm working on this project, this is my timeline, these are the things I need to do, and this is how much money I'm going to be spending. And when I reach this point, if I'm not seeing those critical success factors that I need to see, then I know this project isn't moving in the direction I want it to. I will implement different things that I think will help, but then the idea is very simple. If it's not going to happen, I step back, step out of that project and call it a day. Yeah, it's a loss, and yes, it's not the best feeling in the world, but there's more projects to be had. There's so many opportunities for success, and sometimes, well, things don't work out. We got to be okay with that, especially when we're starting businesses. On the standpoint of what you are doing with your life and your business, it's 5 hours a day that you are wasting when you talk the way you're talking. And this is the reality. We often think, hey, I'm persistent, hey, I'm hustling, hey, I keep moving, I will make it. But if we're not doing the right things at the right time, well, you're just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over and over and not seeing success. And I think it was Einstein who said, hey, that's the definition of insanity. Persistence is critical to success. Yes, we need to get back up when we're slapped in the face. We get back up and we keep moving and we keep doing until we find the success we're looking for. Being consistent, however, is being able to keep doing the right things over and over. Generally, the goal is to find success at the end of it. It is to increase the level of opportunity that exists by doing repetitively the things you need to do to achieve it. I make videos because I know that people will be watching these down the road. Even though my videos aren't, the subscriber rate isn't launching right now, I'm still making it because it's evergreen content. People will always deal with these problems. And eventually they will grow. And hey, I watched videos from 5 years ago from certain people that posted them. And 5 years ago they only had 10 views. And now they have about 150,000 to 200,000. I need to look at these things and I have to ask myself, do I still need to stay consistent in this, or do I need to change it? When the time comes where I need to change it, then I will. Is it here yet? I don't know. Is it coming? I don't know. I haven't analyzed it. What I know is that on a logical perspective, I implemented this plan because I know that it will provide a benefit down the road, so I will maintain my consistency on it. However, there's other things that I stopped doing. There's things that I stopped doing in my path to find success in the things I'm trying to do with this. This whole idea of the channel, this whole idea of Mentors Approach, this whole idea of the program I'm creating, the whole idea of the community I want to create, the whole idea of growth that I want to see. In different businesses, different requirements are needed, and sometimes we get stuck on the things that we thought worked in other businesses. Sometimes we get stuck on the things that we still think it should work, and it's not what the business currently needs. And you start with it and then you realize, hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, and you stop doing it. But that's only when you analyze it. You go through the process. And these are the 5 steps I listed out before. I'll post that video above and below so you can rewatch that and really ask yourself, in my current situation, what am I doing? You're basically doing work 5 hours a day. So I can guarantee you that after work, you're coming home and you're working for 5 hours. It's not structured 5 hours. You're not getting everything you want to get done, and you're not moving in the direction you want to go in. So, what are you doing consistent? What you're not doing consistent? What's changing? What are the variables? And what's causing you to have hiccups? You need to analyze all this. Then what you need to do is take out the things that aren't helping you. They're not moving you forward. What are the certain things that aren't assisting your progress? This is really you going back and being accountable for what you have done for the last, how long? You're working 5 hours a day. What are you doing in those 5 hours that are not benefiting you? Very simple. Take them out. Be accountable for the fact that you did those thinking they would work, and they're not doing anything for you, so let's take those out. Then look at what you're doing with your plan. Look at the expectations and ask yourself, if I want to reach those expectations, what are the things I need to do right now in order to hit those expectations? Mind you, we also at the same time have to look at those expectations and ask ourselves, is it reality? Is it really the reality? I have people call me and they tell me, well, I know this product will make millions. I just need to start. The reality is that the product isn't going to make millions overnight. In their head, though, they believe it still. And all this time they've been working, they're not really cueing in on the fact that it won't. It's going to take time to see progression. It's going to take time to get to that level, but it's doable. It's just not overnight. Where's the reality? Where is your head at? So let's change those goals up. Let's change up what you need to be doing so you can implement a structure for consistency to really work for you with growth taking place. I would take a few weeks off and I would review everything you've done. I would review everything with whiteboards and I would go through them and I would say, what have I done? What has worked? What hasn't? What are my opportunities that exist still with what I want to achieve? What's my reality? What are the expectations I should expect for reality, not on my creative nature of thinking I'm gonna have the greatest product overnight? Then what you're gonna do is go back to what you need to do to be consistent over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, with growth patterns being established in your accountability phase. And what you'll find is that progress will be made a lot different than what you were doing before. This applies to any area of need right now for you to find growth. There is something that you're lacking in and you're not seeing success. You might be spending too much time on one thing when you should be spending it on something else. A critical analysis needs to occur. You may need to go contact somebody so you can have that analysis work for you the best way. I gotta tell you, you know, I have more people than ever calling me going, hey, well, I'm doing a Facebook, I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing Instagram, I'm doing Snapchat, all this stuff. And I look at them and I go, you're spending how many hours? And they go, well, you know, like it's a good, like 3 to 5 hours. And I sit there and I go, I'm spending 3 hours just on my YouTube video. How are you doing all this stuff? Let me see the quality that you have. And the quality is not there. It's suffering. Are you happy with the quality? No, I'm not. Oh, okay, well, then, you know, you're pushing it out. So is it just quantity or quality you're looking for? Well, I want quality. All right, so do we slow that down? Let's go back into that plan. I can't make the decision for you. What you need to do is establish in that plan you have what is needed to find success. And maybe you don't need to be on everything. Maybe you don't need to be the next Gary Vee who's got 2 guys, 3, 5, 10, whatever, a whole team behind him, following him, doing all the recordings for him, doing all the editing for him, doing all the requirements he doesn't have time to do because he's too busy. He speaks truth. However, that truth comes at a price that we need to invest in. And if we can't invest in it, we can't really replicate that 100%. That's the reality of it. Stick to the plan, stick to reality of expectations, really be accountable for yourself, and go back and really focus on setting up that consistent workflow that you need to do in order to find success. Stop doing the things you don't need to be doing and do the things you need to be doing. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is MentorsApproach.com. Hit that like button if you like what you see. Of course, hit the subscribe button to get your daily motivational idea to get you moving in the right direction. Of course, leave your comment below. Have you been here? What are the things you did? What didn't you do? What would you have changed? And of course, leave that story down below because somebody might read it who might be going through the same thing you went through or are going through, and you might help change their life.